amazing Autumn Applejack. I can't even read it straight off the damn.
Hey, this is our last Applejack.
Our last of the 3 Applejack series.
Which this is my favorite of all the Applejack drinks that we had. This is my favorite by a wide margin.
This of the 3.
Yes.
So just to recap, we had the Jack Rose.
Jack Rose.
And then we did the Angel Face. And then we skipped a week and did the Beetlejuice last week.
Well, because it was Halloween.
Right, of course. And then tonight we got the Jack Fashion.
The Jack Fashion. This is a great drink. It's a tasty drink. Let's get to making it.
All right. First of all, let's welcome Bill.
Oh, yeah.
And why am I getting noise back here?
No, that's because I'm going to turn that down.
I could have sworn I turned the volume down. There's our tech mistake for the week. Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, there we go. We'll introduce Bill, and I'm going to start making.
All right. Well, for those of you who don't know from last time he was here, this is Bill Mason, leader of the band Long Strange Day that I just joined. And as you see, I'm wearing my shirt tonight.
The nifty shirt.
Yep. So welcome, Bill. We're glad to have you back in here tonight.
Always a pleasure.
Dude, I had so much fun this past weekend, but we'll get to that in a little bit too. So, Scott, what you got going for us here?
We're making
Mr. Sage
a Jack Fashion, which is lots of ingredients, obviously. 6 ingredient cocktail, 6 or 7 ingredients, I don't know. This is basically, you can make this just with Applejack if you want, but that's really not a Jack Fashion then. That would be called the Applejack Fashion, as opposed to the Jack Apple. The Jack Apple is this basically same drink, but instead of bourbon, you put apple cider, like regular apple, non-filtered apple cider in. And along with the Applejack. Well, this one is a combination of bourbon and Applejack. Now, typically, also this time of year, because of the flavor profile of this, if you have a toasted bourbon, which we're going to get to either next week or the week after, then that would be your preferred bourbon. In here is a toasted barrel bourbon or rye.
All right.
So, all right, I got that in. We got to do now. What makes this drink? Okay, just to start, 2 dashes of orange bitters, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, 3/4 of an ounce of cinnamon syrup, which is tasty as hell. I mean, it's really kind of sets the drink up.
Let's say hello to Lee right quick. He says, do I need to turn the gain down on my computer to stop that feedback? No, that's all right. We got it from this end on that one. He says, good evening, you booze hounds. Cool t-shirt. The logo is awesome. That's Bill's design.
That logo is awesome. Now, Bill, that begs the question, of course, though. Did you come up with that design while you were having a long, strange day?
Yes.
Why did I know the answer was going to be yes?
Believe it or not, though, the name of the band was kind of a serendipitous type of a situation. So, my first wife, Deborah, she was a truck driver.
Hi, Sherry.
And she was out on the road one day, and the guy that started Long Strange Day with me, we were hanging out at his house trying to think of a name, and we had like all these names that we were writing down on pieces of paper and throwing them into a hat.
Right.
And we were going to pick one. And my wife called up, and we were talking, and she started cussing out another truck driver who was like passing too close to her or some crap. And he was driving a long day truck.
Okay.
And jokingly, I said, it sounds like you're having a long, strange day.
There you go.
And the guy that I was with goes, holy shit, that's LSD. And so that stuck.
Naturally.
So like I said, it was kind of a serendipitous type of a situation.
So Sherry says hello. Sherry Wallace is back with us again tonight. She's one of our
Hi,
loyal
Sherry.
fans.
Hi, Sherry.
By the way, Bill, Lee was asking me about the bass that you were bringing over, and he didn't bring it inside yet, but you still might get to see that at some point. We might have a little something extra cooking for y'all tonight. we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, a special something, an after party or something.
Aftercast, yeah, we're thinking about doing at least a little short aftercast. I might even try to drag the little production thing out, and maybe that way we can run a test on it and
Sure.
mess with it for a minute or something like that.
But only those that are watching tonight will have the link.
Access, yes. Or any of the 25 people who happen on it that aren't already our subscribers while it's going on.
There you go.
It'd be interesting to know how many people's feed, like
That we're showing up on.
that we
right.
just click
Yeah,
into, right?
If you just happen across us, say hello in the live chat just to let us know you're there.
Yes.
Because I can't tell how many people we actually have watching on here. I see 4 right now. Is what it shows me. We know we're interacting with, of course, Lee and Sherry, but I don't know who else is out there.
Yeah, because if they don't sign on, then they don't show up, right?
Right.
Yeah, you got to sign in to get into the live chat.
Lee asks Bill. He says, "I've not been able to try an acoustic bass. Can you slap and pop on one?"
You can. It's not.
Doesn't sound right.
Well, typically people that play slap and pop tend to like to have their strings a little higher up on the
Off the fretboard?
Off the fretbar than when they play with a pick or just standard finger playing.
Right.
So you can't really do that with an acoustic. I think they might make one that has an adjustable bridge, but I'm not really sure.
Crazy Lady B, hello. Thank you for joining us.
I mean, you can do it. It doesn't sound great.
Lee, now Lee was my lead guitar player in Rough and Ready, and
Yeah.
The Christian rock trio that we did, Word Sword. Also, he also ended up playing bass himself, and he's a hell of a bass player. I got to hear him from when I was up there in April.
I'm not a good bass player.
He is.
I'm just a.
Thank you, sir.
What he is not a good liar because
I
he is a
pass.
good
He's a hell of a bass
bass player.
What I am is a good con artist because I make people think that I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing.
That's called natural talent, Bill.
Well, I've always said in the past, I don't consider myself a great bass player. I'm an adequate bass player for what I do.
Exactly.
And I'm not a great singer. I'm an adequate singer for what I do. But what I'm really good at is writing and producing songs. That's my.
You and I are similar in both of
super
those as far as the music and the vocal side of it versus the songwriting and the production side too. We both have an ear for that kind of thing, obviously.
Probably why we get along so well.
Yes, I believe it. If only we'd known that 17 years ago.
We could have, but whose fault is that?
That's mine.
Hey, it's all part of the journey.
Yes, it is.
I mean, the universe didn't.
No pun intended with the song you heard.
Yeah, earlier. No, the universe wasn't meant to be back then.
I really believe that part of it too. I believe this was the right time for me to end up with you guys. Something about it,
Yeah, when we're old and we don't want to play out hardly ever because we don't want to carry our equipment.
Dude,
17 years ago, we were still more than willing to carry our equipment.
I will say
That's what teenage sons are for.
Well, yeah, I told Aiden I would like to have him with us
sons aren't
next
teenage
time.
anymore.
Mine aren't either.
My sons are, one is 40 and one is 36.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I one of the jokes I always make when I'm talking to the guys in the band is that it's amazing how when I was 20-something and more than able to carry my own equipment, everybody wanted to carry my equipment. Now I'm 58.
Right.
Nobody wants to touch my stuff. I have to play hurt to get people to help me. Like I did it too.
Right. I was his helper, by the way.
Although I really am hurt. I mean, I got broken ribs.
Yeah, he is.
Damn it, Bill. How'd you break your ribs?
Oh, I decided to use my motorcycle as a slingshot.
Oh, he told me about that.
Yeah.
So just to catch up, Lee says, I'd imagine
Now, if
trying
you guys
both
want
hands
to-
on the neck about the slap pop. He says, I'd imagine trying both hands on the neck. He says also, I've heard your music. You guys are good. The writing is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
the writing is good.
I will agree with you there. I enjoy it.
Like I said, that's what I try to. That's what I put most of my effort into is the writing. That's the fun part to me.
Right.
The fun part to me is starting with nothing and coming out with this
Right.
at the other
With,
end.
like that song Craziness that Dave and I did. Dave brought a set of words over here. And you heard what I ended up with the finished product of it. And it's not, not anything incredible, but I think I did a pretty decent job for not having done anything in like 20 years at that point.
Right, right. What's the matter?
What you after?
Well, I was after the clip. I was just going to put it away. Oh, there. See, I knew I left it around here somewhere.
Takes a half blind man to find it. But
Yeah, I got it.
actually, that I can't claim that one as my own. That was my dad, Randall's thing. He used to be able to find anything in the damn house, but he was legally blind in one eye. So his thing was, it takes a blind man.
There you go.
Gentlemen,
Cilantro.
cheers.
Here's to summer returning down here.
Right? No kidding.
Really, a fall drink.
Good
A totally
grief.
fall drink.
Well, you see me wearing shorts again over
I
here.
know, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's really sweet, but it's tasty.
That
Old
is
fashions
good.
are sweet. But the flavor profiles, I mean, you got orange, you got lemon, you got apple, and you got bourbon.
And you can, and that
Wow.
bourbon comes out just enough.
Yeah.
Lee says, the writing is the real music, all of it together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, you start out with just nothing. You're
Yeah.
just kind of goofing off on the bass or on the guitar or something.
It's
all
like
of
a piece of clay. It's
Something
like pottery.
goes ding, ding, ding in
Yeah.
your ear, and you're like, oh, wait. And then 2 hours later, you got like parts, and
Right?
then you're on the phone with your guitarist going, yo, dude, you need to come over right now.
No, get over here. I need your help. I need your help now.
See, it was great for us all those years because Chris lived with me.
Right?
So all I had to do was go knock on his
Hey.
bedroom door.
Listen to this. Yeah.
Lee was my
Yeah.
writing partner back in the day.
Yeah.
He and I wrote a couple of really good things together.
Unfortunately, now Chris is like with his future wife, so
That happens.
it happens. It took a long time for Chris, but
You
he
still
finally
got
found
him,
somebody
don't
that's
you?
worth marrying, huh?
You still have him, though, in the band, right?
Yeah.
That's why
The answer is yes. of
That's
course.
why I just said he finally found somebody that's worth marrying.
That's a tall, hey, let me tell you, that's a tall task.
It is.
That's a very tall task.
It takes a special woman to share time with a band,
It does. It really does.
A lot of women don't want to share time with a band.
No, I get it.
This one has been very supportive for sure.
Oh, Betty's
Well,
cool.
that's because she loves music.
He says,
Betty's awesome.
Yeah.
"Oh no, did you get Yoko Ono'd?"
No,
no.
God no.
So,
That is tasty.
This is great. I love this.
should the audience? I mean, this is a fairly complex, easy to make, but complex flavor profile.
Yeah.
Is it
Very
worth
nice.
making it?
Oh yes,
Oh, I would say so. Yeah. For
it's
sure.
definitely worth making it.
Now here, don't, and I don't mean to change the subject because I'm really interested in listening to you guys talk about, the shit you got going on. Because I have like 50 questions because, of course, I wasn't at Boo because I got to work at 3 o'clock on Saturday morning. So it kind of sucks
Yeah, he
for
was
me.
carrying ballots.
Yeah. Don't go buy cinnamon syrup. Make it yourself. It's so damn simple. All this stuff.
We're going to
is
have
so
to
simple.
start doing some extra content. Pardon me for interrupting you there, but
On
we
how
did start
to.
on how to do your simple syrups, because he makes most of our syrups that we use here.
It's so, and this, I mean, here, it's 3/4 of a cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and 2 cinnamon sticks crushed up, and bring it to a boil it for a minute, and turn it off, and let it sit until it gets to room temperature, then pour it in a bottle. That's
So
it.
it's basically cinnamon tea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
But that flavor profile, it's not an overpowering
Yeah.
cinnamon, but it's there on the
Oh,
on
it's
the
yes.
definitely there. And at first I didn't get the cinnamon so much, but now I'm even getting the little bit of a sting from the cinnamon, but not heavily.
No,
it's
not
just
heavy.
all part of that taste profile.
And it's just cinnamon.
But like you said, the
pairs
apple-
so well with bourbon.
Yeah,
I was
And
going to
then
say
with-
the bourbon brings the cinnamon out.
Right? And then the apple just pairs with that much better.
Well, it's kind of like So if you're expecting an apple profile that's more like an apple cider, you're not going to get that.
No.
If you're
No.
if you're expecting caramel apple soaked in whiskey and cinnamon, that's what you're going to
That's
get.
kind of what you're getting here.
Very good description.
Yeah. But it's bright because of
With
the
a
lemon.
little citrus
Right, it's
back
got a little
on
bit
it.
of a citrus
Yep.
back
Right.
on it.
Now here, I didn't do this on your
pairs
guys'
nicely with the
drink
bourbon.
because technically you're not supposed to do it, but I like to squeeze my lemon because it just makes it bright. And if you want to squeeze your lemon, go ahead.
Well, that's true.
I'm not
gonna
into
have to go
squeezing.
there.
I'm not into squeezing your lemons. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't want to squeeze another man's lemon. I get that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
I feel like we're in a Seinfeld episode all of a sudden.
yeah.
Alrighty. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna just drop mine all over the
Don't
place.
spill.
Not the drink, just the lemon. Went crazy on me.
And that'll change the profile of the drink a little bit
We need
too.
cocktail napkins now with the logo on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how it brightens it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. That really brightened it up.
Now technically, and that
Took some of the
you know,
super sweet out
The
of it.
sweetness, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cuts it.
tempers, it tempers the sweetness for sure.
I meant to tell you I had whiskey bowls ready in there too.
Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't
Well,
know
you
he
know
was going
what?
to bring cubes.
I did.
He's
Yeah,
got the large cubes tonight.
Yeah, I got the big
Oh,
cubes.
okay.
You know, I'm going to leave these cubes with
I have
you.
a little silicone mold in there that do
Yeah, I do
large.
too at the house.
Yeah.
I got skulls, I got balls,
Oh,
I
cool.
got squares.
We should have had him over for the Beetlejuice with the
With skulls.
With the
Skulls,
skulls,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I did find us some cool cups though with the skeleton hand on the bottom.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, the only Halloween cup that I have was recently gifted to me by, you met Karen at the
Yep.
Epu, right? Yeah. My friend Karen, she brought over two, like, big drink glasses, you know, the kind that you sneak your drink into the
Oh yeah.
theater
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'll get there in just a little bit, Sherry.
Anyway.
You know where she's asking already.
Craziness.
Yep.
Well,
She says, Sage, any comments concerning the outcome of the election?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
So yeah, let's go ahead and shoot to the craziness roundup. We'll keep it brief tonight because as you know, here let's just go a little bit of housekeeping overall. What's the purpose of this? Getting together with friends to let the craziness
no.
stay outside.
Yeah, it's
Not
what
this
we
part
were just
so much.
doing
Yeah.
before we got to this. It's
Right.
talking about something we're all interested in. Hopefully you're interested in it too and hearing about, you know, because I really want to know more about that. I mean, I've watched 2 or 3 videos. That doesn't give me a feel for how your set went, you know, how,
Right.
especially for
Right.
you, and then getting your perspective on that additional layer in there
Right,
and how,
right.
you know, there's a lot
Right.
there. So we'll get to that.
Right.
Okay.
So,
but that's really
but-
what this is about.
Yeah, exactly. And Lee suggested a drinking game earlier. Said anytime a particular name was mentioned that I had to take a shot because I'm the one that doesn't have to drive.
What's the name?
Trump.
Well,
We're not doing that because I have to drive
Oh.
tomorrow.
Nah.
Plus, we're going to keep the craziness roundup short because what do we say here?
yeah.
Leave the craziness
Leave
out
that
there.
shit out there.
I only have one
Come
thing
in
to
here and
say
have a
about
drink
the
with us.
craziness. I wish my cousin was watching because I just want to tell her she'll be okay.
Yeah.
She's not going to die. Nobody's going to put you into an internment camp. So please calm down.
Yep. That's my
It's like Scott always told me. Is the sun coming up in the east?
I used to keep bees, and I always used to say, when the sun comes up in the east, the bees come out and they go to work, no matter what's going on. It doesn't matter. Okay. The sun's coming up in the east and it's setting in the west tomorrow too.
Right? Would have
No.
been the same if the outcome had been different.
What my observation, the craziness
That
to
would be
me.
crazy.
So to answer your question, Sherry, the craziness to me is it. There's a lot more craziness coming just because I'm privy to things that because of people that I know.
Right.
So we got a long way to go until January, and there's a lot of things that
Could or possibly might happen.
might happen between now and then, and let's not go there.
Right.
What I feel genuinely bad And of course, I watched a few videos of yes. I talk with my hands all the time. You know, I got to keep my hands limber for jacking off.
You asked for that. Who was it that posted
Okay, that was Lee, and he said, "Problem is the crazy makes up the bulk of the conversation topics." Well, it did 2 weeks ago.
It
We're
really
trying.
did.
We're trying not to do that
No,
again.
it wasn't
this
2 weeks ago. It was last week because I wanted so bad to be.
Oh, that's
online
right. You
with
wanted
I
to.
wanted
You wanted to
call
come
you
in here
argue with
and
you
bash
guys.
us. And then Sherry says, "Sherry's oh, and hand gestures." That's why he and I went while you were talking there. Sherry says she's been waiting 2 weeks for your thoughts. And Lee says, yes, January. Truth. January's a long way off.
What I feel genuinely bad. I watched a few videos for the entertainment value.
I'm almost done with mine.
Yeah, you got to slow down, man. This is
sorry.
a sipper.
But I'm sipping, but it's just that good.
He's sipping quick.
You can have another one if you want. I mean, we have the booze.
That's the problem with sweet drinks for me.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
That's why I don't drink sweet drinks, because sweet drinks go down like freaking. It's like fruit punch, and then the next thing you know, I'm on my face on the ground over here.
Yep.
I got a really comfortable couch.
And he's trying to explain to my wife why I didn't bring the car home, and she's really pissed off at me. Hi, honey, I love you.
All right, so
We're weaving.
yes,
We're doing the weave, man.
Anyway, back to what you were talking
Tangent
about.
weave.
All right. Yes. Sherry's like, God damn it!
You feel bad.
Will you please get to what you were gonna say? You short fat bastard.
Alrighty.
Short fat bald bastard.
There you go.
I got
Bill,
hair,
you're the
I'm
only
tall,
one with
but
hair.
I'm still fat at least. So.
I feel genuinely bad. I watched a bunch of videos today because it popped up in my feed of some of the meltdowns going on. And of course, they are genuinely entertaining, but at the same time, I really feel for these people because they truly have a mental health issue. I mean, I watched a well-dressed, well-spoken black woman this morning who is certainly an upper middle class individual crying, and she says to the camera as she's doing her selfie, I'm so afraid I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be a slave again.
That's pretty extreme.
What? And that was not the only extreme thing I watched. I mean, some of it's just really funny.
Shades of 2016. I mean, because there was the same kind of crying and rending of clothes and things like that the last time Trump was elected.
My other thought in that is, in the biblical sense, is this the gnashing of teeth?
You have no idea how much that sounded like something she would say about the
Gnashing
hands.
of teeth?
Hands.
Oh. I'm not going there.
I'm
going
guessing
there.
at least. Anyway.
I'm not going there.
Alrighty then.
I'm
So
not
where
going there.
were we? Craziness Roundup still going on?
That was Sherry's comment.
Yes, that was Sherry's comment.
Here's my view on it.
I'm not going.
My view on it is this:
She's going to be down
affects
here to
my
visit
business,
soon, you know that.
then I'm concerned. If it doesn't affect my business, then I'm not concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these people are
No.
As long
these
as
people are crazy. I mean, I don't know how to
She said
explain
no.
it.
I have no idea what comment she was talking about then. Sorry, Sherry. We are drinking. Yeah, 3 guys sitting around drinking.
Yeah, well, then, did she come in after I said that or
No.
before I said that?
How much that sounded like? Oh, probably the part about the people going nuts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man,
Sorry, Sherry.
there's just a mental health issue going on, and
I
it's
thought you were
it's
messing
sad.
with him.
I thought she was too, and so I was gonna say something that would be really a little off color. And
Yeah,
I was like,
we don't
no,
want to do that.
don't want to do that.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, I just I think it's a sad day that there are 6 million possibly people. Not obviously, it's 1% of that. So what's 1% of 60,000?
Right.
Is that 1%?
600.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah, 60,000. So there's 60,000 people that are absolutely, and I watched some of their videos today, where it's, I mean,
They've lost their mind.
well, one girl's, and she was probably looked like she was in her 20s, and I would guess mid to late 20s, and she's crying. She's like, I don't know how I'm going to go to work. I don't know how I can even drive.
And I have a couple of friends doing that too. You know, but
The same way you drove
like you said.
yesterday.
it's like you said, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Sun's still going to come up in the east, set in the west.
I just,
Now, if you get up and the sun's coming up in the west, then you got a problem.
that makes for a long, strange day.
Yes, it does.
Cheers.
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 Bill's definitely
I'll
feeling
drink to
that drink already.
Yeah, I see that.
That was fantastic.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
That was
Yeah,
great.
I told you, this is a great drink. I told you both today when we were texting.
Yep.
I'm like, you're going to love the hell out of this
I
drink.
thought cherry's good. A lot better than the Publix bright red
I was
ones.
gonna
Huh?
say these are Luxardo.
Yeah, the real deal.
I was gonna say those are really good.
Real cocktail cherries. Yep. You get what you pay for in that sense.
Yeah.
My grandfather, when I was really young, like 3 and 4 years old, one of my earlier memories of my life. So my grandfather, he owned a bar in Yorktown, New York, and I remember him taking me to the bar when he would be doing business during the day. The bar wasn't open, but he would be down there doing business with the manager and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And he would sit me on the bar, and the bartender would bring me a big jar of the green maraschino cherries.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And I would just sit there and eat those things. While
All
my
jacked up on
grandfather
sugar.
was all jacked up.
Better than candy.
That was like one of my best memories, when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Being in a bar, eating cherries. I think I was destined for something.
There you go. There you go. Now, see, my granddaddy had a bar out back of his house. He had like a sunroom on the back, and he had this
Right.
semicircular bar out there. And that was actually where I did the show that I told
Oh,
you
yeah,
about.
yeah.
My grandparents had one of those little home reel-to-reel recorders, and I used to sit out back and interview my grandmother,
Cool.
and with a little tape recorder. And
Like
here
you're
we are
doing a radio
this.
show, yeah.
Yeah, and here we are doing this now.
Now, any man worth their salt up in New York or anywhere up in New England where we had basements had a basement bar.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah, I grew up with basement bar.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, every man in New York had a basement bar.
Yeah.
See, Granddaddy's basement was more like red clay.
Well, that's
Oh, okay, so it
that's
wasn't
a little
built.
different. Yeah.
Right, it wasn't built out. But he did have this really nice sunroom on the back of the house that used to be like maybe a screen porch or something like that.
Sure.
That was built up from the rest of the yard. So it was elevated from the yard but level with the house,
Right,
Okay.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was some storage space under there, brick, and all that kind of stuff. So it was just a really cool place to set up. I mean, he even had the louvered windows and the whole bit.
Oh, cool.
So it was as close to a Florida room as he could get. He always wanted to retire to Florida. I didn't wait to
He was
retire.
only
I
a
just moved
state
down here.
away.
Yeah, I know. But he was Ford Motor Company accountant for all these years, and what
Yeah,
he
but
was
you-
supposed to do was work, and then retire to Florida.
Which
That
is
was just what you were supposed
what
to do.
happened? That's what everybody in New York does too. But what happened? Why didn't he retire to Florida? It's only one state away.
They were looking at condos and such, and he ended up with cancer and
Oh,
all that.
life got in
So,
the way.
yeah, life got in the way.
crap.
No, that's
But,
exactly what
but you know what?
my
That's-
grandparents did. My one of my grandparents.
And I just decided I wasn't waiting to retire. I'm moving my ass down here.
When I was in, so here's how I got here. I was planning on going to Colorado.
Empty glass barkeep, he says.
Empty glass, yeah, empty glass barkeep.
You want another one?
No, I'm good.
All right. Because this is a boozy drink.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's a delicious drink.
I should have gotten our
But
stabbers out for the
I
cherries.
promised my wife I wouldn't drive home drunk, so
Okay.
I'm gonna be good.
I do the same thing. That's why I'm just it's a sipper. You got to sip it.
Well,
I may take
our
another
sips
one.
are just a little bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, no, all not to
good
change the subject, but all the old fashioned and all the riffs around the old fashioned, they're all sippers because
Right.
they're heavy
Heavy on the
alcohol
right.
drinks.
Yeah, my
So-
buddy Mike, he loves old fashions. He makes a really good old fashioned. But I'm trying to get him to where he can meet you one of these days. I'd like you guys would hit it off.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Hit it off. He's a big bourbon guy. So you walk into his house, okay, and you come into his kitchen. So he's got this cabinet at the far end of the kitchen room, and that's where all his booze is, okay. And you open. It's a pretty good sized cabinet. You open up the cabinet, and he's got the vodkas on top and the gins and the whole thing. And then you turn around. There's this big, huge wall shelf. That's all his bourbon,
Wow.
and he has it set up top shelf to bottom shelf.
Okay,
Nice.
that makes sense
So
to me.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. He loves his bourbon. He does
Very
bourbon tours around the country. He
That's
does all
fun.
sorts of stuff.
You need to tell him
So-
about that place in Jacksonville I mentioned earlier. The Underbelly. It's a barbecue and bourbon bar that
Okay.
they use as a concert venue. So they have acts come in and play there. We saw
Y'all
three
should
different
get a
bands
gig
and-
there.
Yeah, well, that would be cool. But I mean, behind the counter is like that, like you're talking about. They have
right.
all this, just rows and rows.
Couple
of bourbon
hundred
back
bottles,
there.
probably.
Plus, they do their own barbecue there. They have homemade macaroni and cheese with pulled pork in it.
You can get a gig there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not.
Really cool place to see a show. If
See, the
anybody
food is
watching
what,
this ever,
what sells me. I'm a foodie. That's why I'm fat.
but you can go in there and
Well,
get
that's
like
why
a
I'm fat,
flight.
too.
You can go actually order a whole flight of different kinds of bourbon to
Wow.
drink. Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, we'll have to check it out, man. Maybe we can.
urban bourbon, he says.
I do want to try to get a gig in Tampa not too long in the future because my buddy Kevin, I think I mentioned him the last time I was on the show. He had that bad motorcycle accident.
Yeah,
almost killed him. But now he's home. He's walking. He can only walk.
Nice.
He can only walk about 100 feet before he's winded and has to sit. But he came to. So my friend Joe, who played bass guitar in that band, he has a annual Halloween party that we
Right.
go to every year. And so Kevin, I went down to see him the day before, or that day actually, to drop off some stuff to him.
Another one?
And talk to him.
Sure.
And
I'm sitting
so,
here just trying to decide whether I wanted another one or not. But
So I told him, I said, "Why don't you come to Joe's? You haven't seen him since way back,
Right.
years, and if you're feeling up to it, So I guess he was feeling up to it. Him and his wife drove up, Shannon, and they hung out with us, and it was such a great time.
Very
It was
cool.
like the old days again with him
awesome.
there.
Yeah.
So he's doing a lot better. He's coming along, but I'd love to do a show down there so those guys could all come out
Could
and
come
hang
and
out
check
with
it
us
out.
and meet you guys and
That would be
my
cool.
past meet the future.
Right.
So,
Right. I'm really excited about what we've got coming up here as far as that goes. I mean, no gigs or anything like that, but just the creative
yet.
process itself.
I actually have to call
Yeah.
the lady out in Pink Flamingo and make sure that we have a booking for like March.
Sweet.
So
Well, that'll give me plenty of time to get ready for that. But I'm, just speaking to the creative process itself, though. Now getting in and actually not just quickly learning the material, but digging my hands into it and really
you
getting
need
a
to
hold
come
of
over
it.
more often.
Oh yeah.
You need to call
This
me
has
up
been a
and
rough
say,
week.
hey, what are you doing this week?
This has been a crazy week.
Let's get together, man.
Well, listen,
More
fuckers.
work on the car today.
Yes.
I love that.
Are those citrus bitters?
Orange bitters, yeah.
Okay, what are those?
Regular. I call them regular bitters, but they're multi-spiced bitters.
Okay.
Um,
So it's like the allspice of bitters.
kind of.
Okay. All right, so go on.
Now let's. Okay.
Yes.
No. I want to start with you. First gig in 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
Stiff but comfortable.
He was freaking out.
I know he was freaking out. I know it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know he was
doubt.
freaking out.
Well, that's called 30 years worth of pre-show jitters all at once. I mean,
I threatened to knock him out.
He didn't have here. Did he tell you he had butterflies? Because he was a lying motherfucker. He had eagles in him.
I threatened to knock him out. I told him I was going to knock him out if he didn't stop.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I said,
He says, don't sugarcoat it, Scott.
I told him, I said, it would really suck if you missed your first gig because I had to knock you out because you're being a little bitch.
Oh man. No, and it wasn't that I was
Bill, maybe
really
I think that's why I like you so much, because we think the same.
Oh, I won't let him get away with it. Ask him what I did when he went. This is his. Okay, it wasn't his first practice. It was his second practice.
Second practice with you.
First practice was just kind of us getting to know each other. Okay.
Sure.
Right.
Second practice was where we were actually going to get into the meat of him learning stuff. So
Right.
he was late to practice that week. I don't remember why.
On something.
But we went through all of our songs before he even got there, so
Right.
we knew we were good. Okay. And that way we could work with him on his stuff only for the rest of the
Oh, sure.
practice.
Okay, I get it. Makes
So
sense.
he shows up, and I told him, I said, this is all you, buddy. Everything that we do is for you from this point on. We already played
Now,
through the songs. We're good.
When this kind of thing happens, I freaking freeze. You know, deers have the fight or flight. No, I freeze.
So we get into the first song, and we're starting to play the song, and
I'm
timid.
still nervous
He's still
about
trying to
being
figure
around
out what
these
he's
guys.
doing, and he stops, and he looks at me, and he goes, man, I just need to take this home and work it out. And I was like,
Yeah, you got me.
Fuck you.
you ain't taking shit home.
And
We're
thank you
working
for
on
that.
it right now.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's what practice is for.
Exactly.
But like I said, this is 30 years worth of pre-show jitters and stuff just all at once is basically what it boiled down to. You know, and that was even the practice part of it. Getting used to playing with a group of guys again. Because the only thing I've done in 30 years is here at the house myself. Dave came over and played a little bit of guitar, but for the most part,
but
I did everything on my own.
That doesn't matter a bit to me.
I know,
What matters a bit to me is that you open up and
like
do
riding
what
a bike,
I know that you're able to do.
Yep. And you see that happening,
What's
right?
your buddy that's online?
Lee.
Lee.
Yeah. Lee knows.
Talk to him.
Lee knows this side of me too. So
Talk to him.
he had to work me into Rough and Ready like this.
Yeah, no, you know,
Yeah.
well,
Bring me out
part
of my
of
shell.
your, I was going to say part of the problem, but it's not a problem. Isn't that fucking good?
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites.
I know. I
Very
want
tasty.
another one, but I have to drive. This sucks.
Yeah.
Can I have one to go?
Part of your modus operandi is you gotta pull that fucking shell out of it off
Yeah.
you. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
getting there.
And I'm
You saw me 2 years ago. You know.
Yeah, I do know. That's I've been pulling on that shell. And it's like at first it was like,
You got me further out of my shell than I've ever been since I've known you right now.
oh, absolutely.
No doubt about that.
so, but he's
No, when we first met, you were kind of really out, and then you went in.
Yeah.
But hey, you got to hand it to him. I mean,
was
he
faking
got how many songs? 11?
11 songs. that we
11
got.
songs
Yeah.
in 3 weeks.
I know that.
Enough to at least
Play the chords.
play the chords and be there
through
as a
the show.
support person
That's right.
doing the performance. Wasn't a serious part of it. Hell, as a matter of fact, if you look at the videos, my head is down and I'm looking at my notes and my keyboard.
Yeah, which, and
but-
like I said, the muscle memory is just not going to
Yeah.
get there that quickly.
Yeah, but it's all coming back. It really is. I feel it coming back, and you see it coming back.
I hear it coming.
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, that's so it's good. It's good to hear you say that your comfort level sounds like it has ahead of schedule,
Oh man,
way ahead.
way ahead.
Yeah.
I already knew what I had with him, so that's why I've been after
Thank
him
you.
for so long. So
No, no.
This is what your fourth try to get me in,
well, I kind of wrote you off the first time
right?
because I didn't know that you and Jen weren't going to be together forever.
Right.
I thought that she would lock you in a basement somewhere and nobody was ever going to see you again. But anyway,
She does watch occasionally, by the way.
hi Jen, I love you. Anyway, she scares me. Anyway,
Hey, which by the way, if you are, if you do see this, no, I don't want to change the subject. If you do see this or you are watching, I have to let you know you have a doppelganger. I mean, an uncanny doppelganger that I actually went and said, Jennifer, and this woman
Damn.
looked at me like I was Medusa, Okay. And she's like, I'm not Jennifer. I'm Colleen. I'm like, I almost was like, you have to take a selfie. I have to send it to my friend Jennifer because you're her twin sister.
Lee says, by the way, okay, oh, no doubt, by this time next month, we won't be able to get his head in that room with 3 people, talking about me.
No.
So he says I'm going to get the big head.
No. I don't allow that either.
He's the only one allowed to do
Trump
that.
ain't got nothing on me when it comes to Hitler, let me tell you. At band practice?
Oh,
No.
yeah, and the thing
No, but
is, he's
somebody's
not
gotta
mean
run
about
the
it.
band.
But listen, you're not mean about it, though.
No, I'm not mean about it.
I mean, as a matter of fact,
I'm kind of snarky about it.
No, back to when I froze up, what we were talking about a minute ago. You handled me perfectly in that moment because I was freaking, I was literally freaking out. I was honestly about that close to an anxiety attack at that point. I didn't tell you that part before, but I know you could probably
No, I could tell.
But the way he talked to me and calmed me down and everything, and the other guys being so patient with that part of the process too, just let me know that I am in the right band. I'm in the right place.
See, here's the thing.
You guys are good for me.
Chris, Kurt, and Kevin, they're all the guys that go, don't worry, buddy. You're all right. It's okay, man. Don't worry about it. I'm the guy that goes, no.
Not that way.
Shut up and just do your job.
Hey, like I said, somebody's got to run the show, man.
Right.
Crazy Lady B, remind us who you are, please. I know we actually know you. I know we've identified you before, but just remind me who you are when you get a chance. Lee is laughing at us over here.
Who, what?
Crazy Lady B, I'm just trying to figure out who that was because she's on here watching us too.
Well, good for her. Thanks for coming in.
That's probably Beth.
And seeing our...
Is it? Crazy Lady B would be your Beth?
Yeah, because... This is Beth. I told you.
She got her eye on you.
Yeah, I know she does.
She's making sure you ain't drinking 2 drinks.
This is why I don't have another drink.
Exactly. Beth, I have the second drink. He does not.
I'm being good, honey. Don't beat me when I come home.
Oh,
I'm not going there either.
Anyway,
you know, there's so many ball breaking opportunities that we're not taking advantage of tonight.
Well, we have ladies watching, and I've already made one faux pas tonight, so you know.
Beth is no lady. She's a woman, but she's no lady. She's
my
one of
granddad
me.
taught me to think of all of them as ladies.
Beth is basically me with boobs. I'm serious. That's why we're married.
Okay.
Lee says hi, Beth. He's saying hello to her too.
Quit flirting with my wife. Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
So
what's new with you?
yeah.
Same shit, different day. Here,
Driving ballots around.
I rinse or wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat.
repeat.
Wash, rinse, repeat. That's
Right.
Until it's this, when the spin cycle starts, then I'll change that tune.
There you go.
There you go.
You know, as far as right now, I'm just the robot. Same chord.
You play
Same
along
chord.
back here too.
Same chord. Same chord.
Yeah, there are songs with the same chord
Yes, there are.
Absolutely.
that are making money.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of it.
No, think about, the Beatles, if you can play 4 chords, you can play almost 90% of the Beatles too.
If you can play 3, you can play any George Thorogood.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorites. But
Mine
anyway.
either.
But the Beatles, I agree with you up until
Sgt.
Revolver.
Pepper, Revolver, okay.
After Revolver, they started evolving.
Yeah.
But before Revolver, yeah, definitely the same 3 chords, song after song after song after song.
Yeah. Well, hey, it was making them millions and millions and millions of dollars.
The Beatles, to me, are the exact opposite side of the coin of Rush. Because there are, with the Beatles, well, with Rush, there are fans that are Rush fans from beginning to end. There are Rush fans that only like Rush from the beginning to Moving Pictures.
Era, right.
And then there are Rush
Which is
fans
sad.
that only like Rush from moving pictures
on.
on to the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. There's even a third subgroup in there that likes pretty much anything from Power Windows on. Because
that's a subgroup.
yeah,
It's still moving pictures on.
right. Oh, I agree with you there. But there is this weird little group that doesn't really like the before Power Windows stuff.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And then
That is
if
weird
you look
because
at the Beatles,
so many people came into Rush when moving pictures because it was so commercially popular.
right?
And to me,
You know,
signals too.
And then everybody, I was just like, where have you been?
Right.
These motherfuckers are the best thing ever.
Right.
And you didn't even know they existed. What's wrong? And it's coming out of 3 fucking guys.
Right.
Right. Now, if you look at the Rush, everything from the first, well, I don't count the first album because that was with, what's his name?
Yeah. Well,
Rutsy.
still.
Him.
John
Anyway,
Rutsy.
and Rutsy wasn't a bad drummer.
No,
just
he wasn't.
He wasn't pert.
Lee saw them in '77. As a matter of fact, I have his ticket stub upstairs.
First time I saw Rush was at Madison Square Gardens, 1980?
Moving pictures.
81? It was moving pictures,
All right.
yeah.
81.
First one.
It was like May.
First
First
one.
one. 85. Power Windows.
78.
So Lee wins that
78
lottery.
or 79. I got to think about
I
that.
think I win that one because
Farewell-
I got to see-
77.
Farewell to Kings.
But still, I got to see the rotating stage in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that's a cool gig.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I think I
Yeah,
won.
and granted, Lee probably saw him at the Roxy in Atlanta.
I was going to say the Roxy or the Omni. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. But
Which,
then-
by the way, Dream Theater is playing the Roxy.
Really?
Yeah. That would be an incredible show.
That would be a great show.
But see, I could see that because Dream Theater, as phenomenal musicians as they are,
They're not stadium packers.
they're not stadium guys.
No, they're more
No,
into
And I
the
don't
venue.
think that they would want to be stadium
they
guys.
have a cult following
Yeah.
that is surprising to me actually because their music is really fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, and they're
New
so
album's sounding good so far.
there's well, the talent there there's a tremendous amount of talent and they've put it together.
The Columbus Coliseum in Atlanta. I mean, in Georgia. Excuse me. Columbus, Georgia.
Coliseum.
Yeah, Columbus, Georgia.
But then if you look at the Rush way it's split up, the first part of Rush was more complex. The second
absolutely.
part of Rush
Yeah.
was simpler but more synthy.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially
then-
when they got into the 80s.
And then
Yeah.
the separating line was Moving Pictures because Moving Pictures had the intensity and complexity of the earlier albums, but was
With
bringing
the
all
synth.
the synth in from the later
Right.
albums. Okay.
Right.
Now you look at the Beatles, flip side of the coin. The Beatles, you have fans who are Beatle fans from the very beginning to the very end. You have
my
Beatles
dad.
fans that are fans from the very beginning to about Rubber Soul and Revolver.
Yep.
And then you have the fans that are Revolver on to the end. Okay?
Right.
But it's the opposite with them because the early stuff was the simple stuff.
Totally
And the later stuff was the stuff that really had some thought put behind
Well,
it.
yeah,
you know?
because when they got to Rubber Soul, they started dropping acid and
Right.
the whole world opened up. to
Well,
them.
I think it had a lot to do with George Martin too, because
Oh,
George
yeah.
Martin had taught them, look,
because George
it's
was
one
dropping
thing to-
acid with them.
It's one thing to have hits, but it's another thing to have musical quality.
Yeah.
Right. And
Not saying that I want to hold your hand is not musical quality. It's just very poppy
Well,
musical quality.
well,
It's
you-
a different
you-
type of music.
and you gotta-
a producer.
You gotta yes, I'll drink to that too.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta put it in perspective too. It's musical quality, especially for 1963.
Oh, yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
Oh my
I mean, we're
God.
talking innovation
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, if it weren't for the stuff that they did in 1963, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
as far as that goes. And I'm really talking from a recording standpoint, but the whole industry evolved to the point that made it possible for us to do on a regular basis what we're doing now,
What we're doing now, exactly.
as far as that goes, and make it as complex as it
But
is.
ironically, what we're doing now is kind of bringing it back a couple of decades,
Right.
more than a couple.
Well, here, what we're doing is we're trying to marry the old with the new a little
yeah.
bit, as far
Yeah.
as that goes. You know, trying to get some of this newer technology in with the old and classic sounds. Here, just to give you an example, what we're doing is, even though we're using synthesizers as opposed to the old analog keyboards, whatever you want to call them, the music machines here, like the Hammond.
Right, our primary sounds are B3
right.
and
The
piano.
Right. The organ was a mechanical device, not
Right.
a synthesizer.
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm trying to get around
Electronic,
out there. So
yeah.
even though we're using modern representations of them, we're trying to get that classic feel to them as much as possible too.
Which a purist will say you'll never do until
Right.
you bring the 5,000-pound Hammond and its accompanying Leslie speaker.
Right, right. And that unfortunately is not going to happen. So we have to do it the best we can. We use an electronic synthesizer, but we do it through a tube amplifier to give it that warmth and that little
Depth
bit
of
of
Yeah,
sound.
our
yeah.
warmth is definitely our distortion and warmth is definitely real.
Right.
Because we run that keyboard through an old PV Rockman four tube 120-watt amp.
And then a Fender speaker.
And we've-
classic
Yeah.
with the silver
Yeah,
grill
yeah,
on it
yeah,
and all
okay.
that.
right, an old silver grill
Oh
bass
man,
speaker.
it sounds so
15.
good. It really
So
does.
that's got to sound great, especially
Yeah.
running through tubes. I mean,
yeah.
the sound that comes out of tubes is
Yeah.
just the quality is
Now,
so much different.
When I harness the sound of this thing and get a better, more realistic Hammond sound, it's going to sound even better.
Yeah.
You know, but I got to get that little emulator we were talking about.
The
to
one
install
thing
it.
that I would like to do with that head, I don't know if Kurt could do. Well, I shouldn't.
we
say
we
that.
know Kurt can do
Kurt
it.
can do anything. He's an engineer.
Yes.
Literally, he went to school for it. Anyway, so
Yeah.
he.
it's your resident
Dude.
Tom Schultz.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
our
man.
resident Tom Schultz.
Yes, he is. And
Speaking of which, how'd
you would
like
love
that
the
video,
hell
huh?
out of it. Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
Playing that old B3.
Tom Schultz playing
The
a
B3
B3
in his
and doing
basement.
the actual 4-play long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking great.
It was great.
Just sitting there
It was
watching
awesome.
him with his hands and bottom and
yeah.
top.
Hey, that's why I keep
yeah.
see, when stuff like that shows up. That's why I keep my hands loose.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, no, I was going to say, yeah, we already know the truth.
Well, Lee used to, when he was holding his guitar, he had a Les Paul. He would hold it up like this and something like that would be said, and he would raise the guitar.
But anyway, what's that?
That's me.
That's
Oh.
Scott. Sports station.
Yeah, that's my
Um,
stupid. That's probably my wife going.
Right.
Don't drink too.
Don't drink too.
Don't drink that.
He hasn't been. He only had one.
No, I've been very good.
But anyway, the
At the aftercast, Lee, maybe. We don't
Right.
have the amp here, though.
what's that?
He said, let's hear it.
Oh yeah,
We,
yeah.
we don't have the tube amp
We
here.
don't have the tube amp. We'll actually we've talked about doing one of these from from the practice place. one
I
of
think
these
that would
days.
be a great idea.
Yeah, I would love to do
Yeah.
a Wednesday night over
That'd be
there. That
cool.
would be really cool.
You guys are always welcome. So
Fuck yeah.
Or we could do extra content another time if you,
another extra.
Oh, I was
content.
just
We
gonna
could do
say we
anything.
could roll another video.
Yeah. So anyway,
We'll figure out something to do.
right now we have so it's a 120 watt amp.
Okay.
We have the tubes tapped so that we can cut
Okay.
it to half power. Half power gives you way more distortion and a less push, right?
Right.
So what I'd like to do is have him put that tap on a switch so that you can run distortion when you want to just by hitting that switch and kicking the tap in.
Right.
And then taking the tap out where 120 watts, you're not going to be able to overdrive that thing, but you'll get that nice warm tube
Clean
sound,
sound, yeah.
Right.
but it'll be clean.
Yeah.
You know? And then
Oh,
you can
dude.
use it with the piano too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you really want a clean sound with piano too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could do that and get it to where we could tap that out, then we no need for a solid state amp at all.
Exactly. That would be nice.
Dude, that would be good, especially once I can get all my sounds
Right.
going there, because those are the actual instruments.
And then I'll be the only crappy musician in this band that doesn't have a tube amp. Everybody else plays through tubes except for me. Now, my dream is to have the old SVT with the, with the refrigerator speaker.
Woo!
You know,
Yeah.
my dream is to be what's his name, the bass player for the Yes.
Chris Squire.
Squire.
Yes, Chris Squire.
You know, that's my dream.
Toast to Chris Squire.
Oh.
You guys don't
And
have
I've got-
drinks.
and I've got. The
I've still got
Rickenbacker.
alcohol.
I still got
Although his was white on black, mine is black on black. So,
Right. And Getty had the black on white.
well,
Right.
the same thing.
Oh,
Black
same
on
thing
white.
as okay. Right.
No, it's white on black. So
On
the
black,
bass is
yeah.
black.
And
The
the
pick
pick
guard
guard
is
is white.
white.
Gotcha.
So it's white on black.
I said it wrong.
Black on white would be a white bass with a black pick guard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I have black on black, which is easy because it's black on black.
Black on black.
You can't get it
Can't
wrong.
get it wrong.
So.
So he says, guitars on the wall, keys stacked behind you, and no amp. What a tease.
No, the amp's over there.
After cast.
We have the amp right there.
We'll show it to you, Lee.
My KBA is over here.
It's
but
crackly
solid
right
state.
now.
Yeah, it's crackly. We got contact cleaner
I
for
got
it.
contact cleaner, yeah.
Yep.
We're going to fix it. We can
But-
fix it. We can fix anything.
Lee, for the aftercast, I do have my keyboards run through the speakers back here. So if we do an aftercast type thing, then yeah, you might get to hear a little bit. Stick with us for a little while, Lee.
Yeah, I'm going to see how far he's gotten on Painted Lady.
Oh no! I haven't touched anything this week at all. No, we're just gonna jam. We ain't gonna. We are not doing a live practice.
Chicken.
Sherry, are you still with us, or did I scare you off?
Bad car problems.
What's wrong with your car?
This time, okay. So I had to have a tune-up a while back. Had all 4 plugs
Yeah.
done, and one coil had gone bad, so I replaced because I couldn't afford to. One coil. Then another coil went bad. Then
Another
coil. Well, number 4 just went yesterday.
Well,
Plus
that's
a
why they say to
$500
replace
brake
them all
job.
at the same time.
Yeah, if I could have afforded it, I would have.
I'm just saying. That's why they say that.
Yeah.
Same thing with headlights. That's
Yeah.
why you're supposed to replace both of them.
Well, yeah. Well, I won't have to have that done for a while. Let's put it that way,
There
because
you
it's
go.
all been within the last year.
There you go.
So yeah,
Yeah, you think
one.
you should be good to go for that for a little while at least.
Yeah,
Through the holidays.
I should, and actually, it runs smoother right now than it has in a while too. I mean,
Oh,
you
I'm
can
sure.
tell those were about to go. With the performance of the car. So
Well, here.
it's actually running a lot
The other
smoother
thing, just for those of you that don't know, the car has 200,000 plus miles.
now.
on it.
208.
So a lot of credit
In
goes
9 years.
to, a lot of credit goes to
Toyota.
for making a quality vehicle.
And I'll thank Toyota for one other thing too. Is this gentleman right here? That's where we met. Oh man!
Oh, the part I've been waiting for.
Telling
Down
you,
to
that
the
thing is
cherry, huh?
awesome.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to sit.
That's all right. We get it. You're
You're
old.
showing your age,
Sherry's still over there.
and you're the
Yes.
fucking youngest one here.
Well, I'm also the one walking 9-10 miles a day.
That's true.
Why are you walking 10 miles a day?
That's my job.
Oh, I used to be a delivery person, so I know.
You'd be surprised how many trips up and down that tunnel I do a day.
Nice.
Sometimes,
Nice.
So I get my cardio in with that. Matter of fact, I passed my cardiologist one day last week, and as I passed him, he said, "Man, you're working harder than I am."
Yeah,
As I ran past him,
that's funny.
That's a good thing, though. I mean, he probably feels
Yeah.
good. Like, hey, I got a patient that's actually doing what I told him.
Right. And you saw the cast from last week, right? With Derek in here. Derek, like I said, was one of the team that was actually part of taking care of me.
Yeah, I'm his replacement this week.
Yeah. Actually, Derek was supposed to be in here with us, but he was busy saving
Derek,
lives.
you will see this. I brought the white hat.
Oh, you got the Abumet hat.
I brought the white
Dude,
hat.
y'all got to figure out a way to get me one of those.
I brought the white hat. Well, my connection is now retired.
He has a hat somewhere, doesn't he?
I haven't talked to him for a while. The last time I talked to him was congratulations because I don't know how much money he made, but it was
I'd still like to meet him one day. I know he's retired now, but that'd be cool.
really great dude, my age.
Yeah.
And, he had $100 million payday. So,
Can't bark at that, can
and
you?
not that that's important. I mean, just a high quality guy, great wife, great kids. I mean, just really great people.
I really wish I'd gotten to meet him,
I
especially
want one of
knowing.
those.
Now, this is the guy that Scott called when he found out I had a heart attack. He called this guy that we're talking about and told him about my case. And that guy made calls down the chain and got Derek on my case. So that's how that all came
Awesome.
about.
That's cool.
Scott was one of the catalysts of that.
Kind of, sort
Good
of.
man.
So, but yeah. And here you got your anniversary coming up. Veterans Day.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot. 12 years.
Well, you just had yours.
12? 13?
I was in 13, so
Yeah, so it's
yeah. No,
11
no,
years.
no.
11.
11 years.
So
Sorry.
11 years. All 11s.
All 11s.
Congrats.
Play the lottery.
I guess. I don't know.
Hey, all ones is a good thing, right?
That's what they tell me. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's an angel number.
Yeah,
1111.
exactly. Well,
I don't know.
and pardon this for sounding sappy, but you've definitely been an angel in my life, dude. You really have.
Oh,
Both of you have. I mean, in all seriousness, you two
I can't
are.
even compare to that. This guy literally saved your life.
no, not really. Not really.
Oh man.
I mean, what happened was after I made that phone call and I went to Jen and said,
You
"Hey,
knew the right people. Right.
I said you have to insist on this device. You have to tell them." And then when Jen finally worked up the courage, well, my initial stuff had started making its way through the chain,
Derek showed up at about the same time.
and Jen, when Jen got to the doctor, he was like, "We're going to do this," and she was like, "I was just going to tell you have to do this."
Right.
And I wasn't there for that, but that's kind of how Jen explained it to me.
Yeah.
So, and all that was good.
Kind of
Then,
kismet. Everything just came together perfectly. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, that can describe the whole damn situation around both of our cases.
the universe does the weave.
Yeah.
And then I gave Jen her muffin,
Yeah.
and she was fine.
And she started writing the journal.
Yeah.
Because obviously that was the catalyst to start the journal.
Yeah. I gave Jen a weed muffin on that day.
The opening
Because
page in the journal that I have over here is "This day really sucked, except for the muffin Scott gave me."
So,
And the next day was the catalog, the chronicle.
Right.
because I remember my wife telling me kind of when she went through the same kind of thing, and
was there for that.
the shock of that is just like I can't. I try to put myself in her shoes, and it's just what do you do when a nurse and a doctor comes to you and say your husband's heart has stopped beating? I mean,
I'm sort of laughed as Lee over here, of course. Lee says 2 drinks in, and he's all, "I love you, man." Now you know why I was trying to get him to take a shot.
it's not even a Bud Light.
He says, "Now you know why I was trying to get him to take a shot every time we mentioned Trump's name."
Yeah, well, he said 4 shots now.
Yeah, the equivalent of. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, that's all I had to say about that.
I did not mean
anyways.
to interrupt that with a laugh.
No, you're laughing at Lee.
I'm doing good tonight. He was getting all sappy, she says. Beth says.
Who was getting sappy?
Me. Beth, you will find that's me. I'm kind of a sap.
Yeah, no, here. I'll tell you, if you pull on Michael's strings just right, the fountain starts.
Oh boy.
He is right about that.
Oh, yeah, I know I'm right. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's another...
Thanks, guys.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I can't.
It's just like there's nothing wrong with, squeezing another guy's lemons.
All right.
That's called the weave.
What time is it here?
We're bringing the weave. I just weaved it back in.
Oh, my God. These boys ain't right. And neither are you, Lee.
Oh shit. Okay.
All right. With that, we
Here,
are
I'm gonna
coming
bring
to
my
a
lemons
close
over
here.
here. Okay.
Nothing personal, but I will.
Hold on, I got to loosen up my wrist.
That'll get me back out of it.
Now we know why he does the wrist thing. Damn.
Okay, well, let's see. We turned my volume up back there a little bit, Scott.
I got it.
You got it.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it that time already?
Yes, it is that time. It is
No way.
9:36 tonight.
Man,
We went long tonight.
Yeah, we actually went 5 minutes long so far.
Man, we had too much.
Oh man. We
You know,
had a
this
lot
is-
of fun,
you know-
and we aren't done yet. You guys can't leave yet because
We're gonna
you
do
gotta
an
let
after
that
party.
get out of your
After
system.
party,
And
yeah.
I gotta finish my drink. So anyway, okay, what are we doing next week?
Okay, here, I'll give you your choice. You know, I'm always big on choices.
Yeah.
So we can do a smoked maple fashion.
You see my look there? What?
We can do a smoked maple fashion.
Okay.
Or we can do, well, here, we can do a smoked maple fashion.
Bill looks like he's watching a tennis
We,
match over
we
here.
can do an elder fashion. We can do an apra fashion.
Oh, are we in Fashion Month?
We're in fashion month.
Okay. So there you go, a subcategory. Now wait a minute, we did kind of a Whiskey Wednesday and Applejack tonight at the same time. So we bring back Whiskey Wednesday,
Or we can do the toasted
with
fashion.
fashion.
Ooh, toasted fashion.
Let's do the toasted fashion to start out with,
Okay, toasted fashion it is.
and then we'll play it by ear from there.
Which is really just an old fashioned made with toasted
Right.
bourbon.
So any of you that are still here with us tonight, first of all, let's do the housekeeping. Social media, YouTube, you're already here. You know that one. Facebook, at Loquacious Libations. Instagram is Loquacious_Libations.
Wait a second. Loquacious underscore libation.
Scott's hand motions. Oh, wait. You got to get that right.
Yeah, that's right.
He's exercising. He's getting ready for the lemons.
There's the weave.
There we go. All right. So next week we got the fashion series starting.
We're going to start a fashion series.
Catwalk and all.
And
Catwalking.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, we'll do a bunch of old fashioned riffs. I don't know if we'll do 3, 4, 5 of them. I don't know.
We'll see what we come up with anyway. And of course we got some
Then-
holiday stuff coming up for
We
you
got
too.
some
We're gonna
holiday
do an
stuff coming
eggnog.
up, and we're going
Yeah.
to do a super secret blind
Right.
in sometime in December.
So you guys keep watching through the weeks. Tell everybody to like, share, subscribe, all the good shit like that. And stay tuned. Watch YouTube. We aren't going to post anything, specific. But who knows? We might pop up live in a little bit again and do a little something around here. What do you think?
These guys are going to jam a little bit.
Could be.
All right. Peace,
We will see
everybody.
you guys next
See
week.
you next week.
Bye, y'all. Hit the X. There it is.